Now, a 12-week study has found that workplace survivor syndrome, which is WSS, is now so widespread that it may affect more than 2/3 of employees triggered by the pandemic. Now, the condition describes the adverse psychological effects that workers feel in the wake of redundancies. Now, from Hack Future Lab, the think tank behind the study, is Terence Mowry. Good afternoon, Terence. Welcome to the show.
Stephanie, great to be on the show.
Likewise, thank you so much. So talk us through this study and also tell us about workplace survivor syndrome.
Look, workplace survivor syndrome, it's basically the physical, emotional, psychological effects that you go through when one of your mates has been laid off. And it's really a sort of sense of guilt. And what my research has shown that levels of insecurity go up, levels of isolation go up, and levels of productivity go down. So I think it's a big elephant in the room that bosses all over the UK need to think about.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's a guilt thing, isn't it? You work alongside with someone that you're your best friend. I mean, to be honest, we see our work colleagues probably more than we do than our partners, to be honest, don't we?
We do. We really do. Most layoffs are completely mismanaged.
Yeah.
I've come across being made redundant or being sacked by text, by voicemail, even by automated bots. Can you believe that?
Gosh, so what can be done about this? How can things change?
Look, I think it starts with empathy. And so I call it the 3 T's: trust, transparency, and build a reputation as a truth teller. And that means walking the talk. It means managing people's expectations around what's knowable and what's unknowable. And it's about care and compassion, not just chasing the money.
We keep hearing, I guess, in these unprecedented times, which is probably the most overused word in 2020.
Yes.
The truth is, none of us were prepared for this, were we, at all?
No.
So you think that your job is a relatively safe one, everything's ticking along as it has been. You may have been in that job a few years and then along comes COVID.
This is like, change used to happen as a breeze. Now it feels like a Category 5 typhoon. Today, it's almost like the slowest it will ever be in a lifetime. And depending on your personality type, that's either exhilarating and exciting or terrifying.
And this, as you say, could have a devastating impact on employees' long-term mental health and also on the British economy. Tell us about some of the research that you've done and when you've spoken to people who have, their colleagues are no longer with them and maybe they're doing their colleagues' work as well.
Well, this is what's happening. So, look, over the next 12 months, unemployment could potentially go up to 2.6 million people in the UK, according to the Office for National Statistics. What also happens is you have some people who mentally quit the job because of the stress, because of the overload, because of being overwhelmed. And so you might have 10 to 15% of the company who've mentally quit the job, but keep on working.
And 2.6, as you've just said, the OFM.
Yeah, that's massive.
Yeah, 2.6 million.
Yes.
That number is staggering, isn't it? In 2020.
It's staggering. Exactly. And if you look at it from a sort of global perspective, around 1.9 billion people have jobs at risk over the next 18 months because this pandemic has accelerated so many different trends, some for the better, but many for the worse. So we really need to build up this strong, resilient mindset.
Surely, some people might be saying, well, I'm all right. I've survived this. Whew, that was a bit close. I'm still here. That's all right. I'll crack on, Jim.
Yes. I mean, look, this is a great once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as well to reinvent yourself. A CEO said to me recently, this year's council, I said, actually, I disagree. This is a chance to reinvent. I recently interviewed a 100-year-old lady who went to university at the age of 83.
Wow. 83 years old. And see, that's keeping the fire burning, isn't it? Because some people...
Exactly.
See, the thing is, my dad, who I sadly lost recently, but I think a lot of his death actually... No, it's fine. I'm really open about this kind of stuff. But I think a lot of... He stopped at 65. He just stopped and he sat there. And I think that's why, things came to get him, really.
It's the keep in motion. In Finland, they call it sisu. Yes. Sisu, it means Viking spirit.
Just looking through some of the research here as well, 69% of employees say that the guilt they shoulder for keeping their jobs when others have been laid off is rippling. 70% say the intense feeling of guilt and anger have reduced their ability to cope with routine tasks as well. But
Yes.
also, 71% have or are still harbouring so-called quit and stay thoughts. What's that? Quit and stay.
Well, this is where you've seen colleagues, trusted friends, they've left the business, and you feel this overwhelming sense of guilt. You're confused. You're suffering from what I call FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, and what that can lead to is like a sort of hijack your brain and lead to this sort of quit and stay mentality, where you just literally kind of disengage from the job. You quit the job, but not you carry on working, as it were, but inside your head at a motivation level, you've said, right, enough is enough. And that has massive impact in terms of your own health and well-being. Obviously, it affects the bottom line of the business as well, and it's not good for the sort of the wider picture of well-being for society.
So how do we change things?
Well, I think it starts with moving from this kind of command and control style of management to what I call care and compassion. So care and compassion, empathy, but also we can provide coaching, counseling, and people want to know the truth, build a reputation as a truth teller. And there's a truth decay in society right now. 58% of people believe that business models are broken. 1 in 5 people would trust a stranger more than their own boss. So it all starts with trust.
If you want to follow Terence on Twitter, it's worth following. And you've got some incredible books as well, haven't you?
Thank you so much. Yes, I've got the new one, The 3D Leader, which is really a book for leaders to thrive in this age of extreme uncertainty. And also another book, How to Win in the Age of Disruption.
Yeah, the mindset one.
Yes.
The leader's mindset. It's definitely worth checking him out on Twitter as well. Terence Marett, it's an honour to speak to you. Thank you so much for being on today as well.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me,
welcome.
Stephanie.